do me a favour, can you help? Hello and welcome to Damn It Vacant, and we have a very special guest on today. It is the Odyssey Pro Wrestling Champion, Mr. Dekker. How are you?
All good. Thank you for having me, boys.
Anytime. It's been a while since we've had you on to talk about, well, the last time you were on was the live show we did.
Yeah, so there was one that there's one that I was invited on and one that you used the same Zoom link and I had to address the thing to kind of jump back on. But yeah, so it's been a couple times, but a little while, definitely a year, 2 years ago, maybe?
A lot's happened, yeah.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah.
Things are a lot different now, aren't they?
Yeah.
But in a weird way, we're still talking about me and RPD, so
Yeah, I mean it's the original feud. It's the the Adam and Eve of Odyssey, if you will. From this, all other feuds have span out from.
yeah, you could say that, I suppose. The anime.
That's what you technically weren't even employed when the feud started.
I wasn't, and I had to do some things that people don't agree with to get in. Some would say, I don't know what some would say, actually. I don't really care too much because I've got myself in. There's a lot of things I did then that I wouldn't do now. But we all go on that journey. We all develop. We all change over time. And I've done that, and it's certainly benefited me.
You had to elaborate on what you wouldn't do now that you did then?
Well, I didn't need to take Ethan Edwards out and put him in hospital and Chris Brooker and me would laugh about how he couldn't spend Christmas with his kids and those things were a bit much, I'd say.
So I was thinking, like, that was when you sort of found yourself, but then also quickly became disenfranchised with it, with the spotlight. Because, like, for a brief shining second there, you were the number one boy in the spotlight. And then when Ryan Hunter did what he did, it felt like you got pushed to the side a little bit.
Yeah, and it's something that with mine and Ryan Hunter's careers, they've been that story of me being number two to him is something I've had to overcome. We started at the same training school. We were both the standout students, but they would refer to Ryan as the standout student. So, and then when it came to the spotlight, Chris would call me the number one guy, always, but who was there as what he called the shining light of the spotlight with the title was Ryan Hunter. So there was a lot, and Chris, I think, knew that about us and manipulated that into his favor to get all the power that he could. And I bought into it because I was bitter that I wasn't being used in Morecambe at all, and Ethan Edwards wanted to move past me, and the previous company kind of went down at a time I was coming into my own, and I just couldn't take that. That was it. And so the parts of that I regret are getting hooked in by the spotlight, are the certain actions I took towards the likes of Ethan Edwards, the bitterness I showed. But I don't regret doing everything I could to get back into Morecambe Wrestling, back into Odyssey. And I don't regret that at all, because without me doing that, I wouldn't be here now and be holding a championship that, whatever version, I've wanted to be the champion in Morecambe since I walked into the Morecambe Wrestling Training School at the time, 2012, 2013. So it's something that's been a goal forever. And I think that's why the fans know that, because throughout three companies that I've ran in Morecambe, they've seen me be the trainee who was a steward helping out. They've seen me, in my debut, jump the guardrail and jump Sam Gradwell. They've seen me in stables. They've seen me all the way through that journey of me having awful matches and losing, to having great matches in the mid-card, to being able to be in the main event and win championships. And they love me or hate me, we've both been on that journey together. And that is why this means so much to me.
Yeah, no, that really, it's that thing of seeing you go from, this isn't what I wanted, this is not right, to sort of turning yourself around. It's been a lovely, lovely journey to follow. Again, of all the things that have happened in Morecambe over the past 5 years now, 4 years, 4 years.
4 years on Odyssey.
Yeah, it's been a fantastic treat to watch you come in from the first time we were there, of you know, attacking RPD at the meet and greet, and everyone absolutely hating you, to you being, you know, you have earned that. I think, as RPD said the other day, you have earned that respect from people.
Thank you.
And and you got to do what you got to do to get where you are, I think, is basically it, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. And it's about, and I think my defenses as well, when you look at them, it's about one thing I can do. And I'll never say I'm the toughest ever. I'll never say I'm going to roll over every single opponent and they're not going to get anything in. But if you look at my two defenses against two people who I'm probably the underdog against, it was just about sticking in there and staying in that fight. I did that against Craig Collins. He got cocky. He missed a moonsault. And
because that would have been game over, because he is a big lad.
Oh, 100%. 100%. You're not speaking to me here. That's it. I know that. And yeah, I get the win because I stuck in there, hung in there. Craig got frustrated, missed the moonsault. I got in, hit him with the hair of the dog, got the win. Alton Thorne.
Big Alton Thorne.
I'm still sore from like Alton Thorne today. He's like tried to choke me out with a chain.
I did not like that.
Yeah.
I mean, you even more so, I'm guessing. But
I didn't like any of it. That body slam on the floor, I felt my spine was gonna leave my body.
The one with the chair on your back.
The chair, yeah.
Oh yeah. It was brutal in the best possible way, but
all of it. But what got to him is that I kept fighting back. And then when I kicked out of that sidewalk on the chair, I to be honest, I didn't think I was going to kick out of that. I thought there was parts in that match where I just wanted it to be over, and I thought I was done. But the fact I did stick in there, the fact I did hang in there, it caused him to get frustrated at the ref, avert his attention, turn around. I punch as hard as I can into that chair, into his face. And then he gets the hair of the dog on the chair, and I come away with the victory. So I don't think maybe there's better wrestlers. There's better wrestlers, maybe tougher wrestlers. But one thing that everyone else doesn't have is the amount of fight I have. I think they underestimate that every time. And they all say they know what I'm all about. And then they'll hit something massive that ends me, and it doesn't. And they don't know what to do. And that's going to be the same with RPD, because I think RPD thinks he has my number.
There seems to be a certain amount of overconfidence with RPD that, like, you've just been keeping that belt warm for him.
Yeah, exactly. The entitlement of it, right?
Yeah.
I've had that moment. I needed that moment. I've been battered. And then he walks through and the attention's on him because that's what he wants. And I respect everything that RPD's done. He's helped Odyssey. They've massively. He's put time and effort in with fans. He's the perfect champion. But RPD is about RPD. And as much as I hate Rick Marcus, he has points of certain things he said.
Yeah.
He did. And you know what? Rick Marcus is a self-absorbed, self-obsessed narcissist who will pretend to be someone's friend. RPD's friendship was real. But RPD will try and big brother every single person he's around. And he tried, and it came across like that. The way he was talking, you would think he was the one who'd been there for over 10 years, and I'd been the one who'd been there for 5 years. You know, that well done, lad. You've done good. And it's...
Well, there was a similar sense of entitlement that he showed with Ethan as well, about the Rick Marcus match as well.
100%.
Like, there is this thing of, it's his way or the highway with it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree. And the fact that he could just take that moment, and the compliments he gave me, I took with a pinch of salt, because he knows there's a lot of things that changed about me, but my feelings towards RPD have never changed. I've never wanted to make amends with RPD, because there's nothing to make amends for. He's someone who I respect because he's how good he is, and he wants to be the best. But he thinks he can walk in and take something I've earned, and something I've really earned, because RPD's been great for Odyssey Pro Wrestling, and Odyssey Pro Wrestling knows that he's great for Odyssey Pro Wrestling. He has been featured as heavily as possible If he's got the title, he's in the main event. If he's not got the title, he's in the main event. If he wants a number one contendership match, he gets one number one contendership match straight away. And I understand it. It's business. I get it. I respect it. You've earned a position to an extent to demand those things. But what he hasn't done, and to be honest, he hasn't had to. He hasn't had to pick himself up from the mud, drag himself through any adversity since coming into Morecambe, really. We've, as a spotlight, we put roadblocks in his way. We've done it all we could. And back then, yeah, there were some things. But that's just the Odyssey history. I've been here before Odyssey existed.
Yes.
And I've had to go through so much more just to be taken seriously here. And he thinks he can walk in and take something that I've earned. The Odyssey Pro Wrestling Championship isn't a championship to me. It's my life's work. So RPD, the arrogance to call that yours is ridiculous.
One thing you did cause to happen, I don't know if you listened to the review pod we did last week, the crowd spontaneously started chanting "Thank you, Dekker." And I remember looking at you and I thought you looked a bit genuinely emotional because of all the Morecambe history. You said to us in December, it's been your life dream to be the man in Morecambe. I was wondering if that was right. Did that catch you kind of by surprise when they did that?
It did, but it didn't massively. It was very heartwarming, and it didn't surprise me because they know that journey as well.
Yeah.
Whether they were booing me, whether they were cheering me, there's a lot of Morecambe wrestling fans who have been there before Odyssey. And they know, they remember me being the trainee and the steward. They remember me losing in the opening match. They remember all of that journey.
Yeah.
So they've seen that from day dot. And they know how long it's taken to get anywhere near a main event. And a lot of them have seen how much hard work I've put in. I mean, if you see the matches between me and Craig Collins, me and Ryan Hunter, me and Alton Thorne, throughout the years, you can't say I haven't put in the effort to deserve to be where I'm at. They know that, and I think they recognize that, and I appreciate them for doing that. I didn't think they would, but as soon as I heard it, I got it. I was like, yeah, you know what? This isn't just me. This is us, really, and it always has been.
It's not where you come from, it's where you end up.
What I thought was really special was that, I know it's 2 shows away now, that opening promo in the War in the Shore.
That was cracking.
The 20-year history promo, but you were the one out on the front and leading that video. And I thought that's absolutely that.
Yeah, it needs to be released. I think it's on its own. I was like, and I'm not sure whether they did it on the YouTube, but
I think it is. Yeah,
I was like, get that out there because that's the person who done that. Because is a guy called Brian Fulton who has been in Morecambe Wrestling for years, trained as a wrestler, so he's wrestled for a while. He's does all of the match graphics you see, the posters. He does the entrance videos. Without Brian Fulton, there's no Odyssey Pro Wrestling. And it was a good friend of mine, and he had this idea of something really cool. So. And I agreed. And normally he's just like, he doesn't really tell me a lot of what he's made me read. He made me say some words and then made me walk around in the cold for an hour. I was like, I'm coming to Morecambe for this. You best buy me a pint.
It'll all work out in post.
Yeah. yeah, that's it. He said, it'll be good. Don't you worry. Okay, fine. And then that comes out and it looks like a masterpiece. So Brian Fulton, the name that everyone should appreciate. He's the best.
It's because it's the thing of it's 20 year history of War on the Shore, and the fact that you get to take us through it is that thing of it's sort of mirrors up lovely with your journey of it all. It's just I think it is on the YouTube. If that, we'll put a link in the show. Go and watch it because it's a brilliant little vignette of just the history of the 20-year history of this event, and it's you doing it as the champion, which, like you said, is all you've ever wanted.
Yeah, absolutely.
Those little moments of history.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it was really well done, and it kind of gave that show the feeling from the get-go. So it made the show have that big show feel, which we want to get with War on the Shore all the time, because it is a big show. It's the biggest show of our calendar. And every year you want to be on War on the Shore. Every year you want to have a great match on War on the Shore. And every year that I always think if that show goes well, you set yourself up for the rest of the year on things that you can do and things that you can go on. It's like kind of our season finale.
But also,
Say.
you're kind of episode 1 of the new season as well,
It,
simultaneously.
it is, isn't it? Yeah, yes. So it's something that's very important and very special and very we want to get it right. People, when you feel the vibe there, people who've been there at least a couple times, you get it. They know it's important and they know it matters and you can feel it there. And it's this great competitive energy of trying to make this the best show possible.
Yeah, it does come across. It's my favourite one of the year. That and Overboard, because who doesn't love a rumble?
Oh, I hate the Rumble. I mean, I like watching the Rumble, but being in a Rumble, there's just so many people there, and
And you're a marked man as well, yeah.
yeah, I'm a mark. Yeah, that's it. So many people there. Everyone's trying to get me out the ring. I've only won. I've won a couple here and there for companies, but my track record for Rumbles isn't the best. So, normally I know it. Normally it ends up with me taking a topple. So, got to treat.
You didn't have to be in it this year. That's where you won the title, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
Sadly,
It was.
Will had to vacate. So was it a triple threat match you had on that?
It was, yeah. And Will having to vacate was, it was heartbreaking for everybody.
Yeah.
Because again, it's that story of the journey of plucky underdog that no one saw as a main eventer. And I know from the start of Odyssey, no one saw as a main eventer. And then that was fan driven to a massive extent, the momentum he had. So, and he captured the imagination of the Morecambe fans. And if you do that, you're golden with Morecambe.
yeah, they will. Yeah. No, I get it's one of the many, many, many reasons that we love Odyssey so much, because there are these beautiful long-term stories going on, as well as shorter stuff. And it's just beautiful to see the Will thing, especially the sort of your fall and rise, and then fall and then rise again. But and like it's just these beautiful things that you can feel emotionally involved in, because you know that, but you don't know these people, but you see them, you're in the flesh, you can go and say hello to them. It's so much more than people on TV.
Yeah.
It has a much more heart. Yeah, it has a much more familial feeling to it. And it's a beautiful thing. If you haven't been to an Odyssey show, come along to one, because it's legitimately the most fun you will have.
Got to get your VIP tickets quickly now.
Yeah, I
know. VIP tickets are gone. No VIP tickets left.
Start buying ours on the night now, I think.
No.
Yeah, VIP tickets are gone. Second row, I think we've just sold out.
There was 3 left yesterday.
I think there was 3 left, and then there was 1 left. I'm assuming that's gone, or it might still be there, because
you're on the second row.
Yeah, I know we got bumped. Yeah,
we're too slow to get the front row.
That's what it is. Man.
Love it.
You got to speak up. Yeah.
No, that's it. Definitely. They go quick.
But no, the shows are getting more and more full. Like, we've been there since day one, and we've seen it grow. And it's all, like I said, it's people who have been there through the history of Morecambe wrestling. There's people who've been there for 20 years who remember the original Warner Shaw, and then there was someone there that was his first show that he'd been to. He brought his kid to his first show, and he loved it. And he said it's great. I said, "You come back for the next?" Yeah, I'll be back for the next one. That's what it's all about. It's about family-friendly wrestling, but also not taking people for idiots.
Thing is, I think people see family-friendly wrestling and they think
that American wrestling.
Yeah, and you know what? It has its place, and it's
fine.
It's brilliant for what it is. But it is a spot show on the day. You know the formula.
Corky Peters as the Undertaker. Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, they have their place and they're great. So
I went to watch one. It was fine.
Yeah, exactly. They have their place. They're brilliant. But I think people think when they think of a family-friendly show, they think of that, and they don't think of maybe a long-term storyline. They don't think of any real violence. They don't think of they don't think of the characters being as large than life and as engaging in a long-term way, show to show. They're thinking of, that's the bad guy, that's the good guy. We're going to cheer them, we're going to boo them, but then we're going to leave and kind of forget who they are, because we're only here for once anyway, and then we're off to the next town. They think of that. So having a show that has all the elements of story, and the fact that you're going to see a little bit of crazy stuff. Sometimes it's pushed to the line. We know when to pull back.
Yeah.
But you're going to be able to take your family there. And then as an adult, you're going to enjoy yourself as well. So Odyssey, it does its best. We do our best to try and cover both grounds in that way.
Hmm.
We don't forget about the adult wrestling fan. We don't forget about the proper wrestling fan. But then also the kids, the audience in the audience as well are gonna want to
Yeah.
boo a bad guy and cheer a good guy. So we do try and strike that balance between the two, and I think it's done very well.
It's done exceptionally well. It's I'd say of all the places that I've been to, I think it's between you and Salford are only 4 shows in at the moment, but have got that balance of their story, but there's also you quickly lay out your stall of who's who, and
Yeah,
immediately.
I'm also massively biased towards Salford as well, but I'm going to tend to agree with it. Got a lot of love for those guys.
You said there about liking to be the bad guys and cheer for the good guys and the kids and that. And one of the things that I've loved at Morecambe is on the occasions where there's been the grey, where the Rick Marcus and RPD, the first time when they were both friends, a little bit with Anderson and
Troy Ryan at the moment,
last show, and you can kind of sense an unease in the audience of
who do we like?
Do I cheer for anyone? I don't want to upset the other person. Well, we're going to head into that again, really, now with you and RPD.
You and RPD's going to be a confusion on a level we haven't seen in Odyssey.
Yeah. So, Mr. Popularity, RPD, is he thrives on that, and the fans absolutely love him. And that happened quicker than I've seen it happen with anyone before. Everyone who's gets those big reactions. Anyone who gets to that level, which I don't think anyone has since maybe Ryan Hunter was the last to be close when it comes to positive. I'd like to feel I'm getting there, but it's taken them a while to warm with me for good reason.
Yeah,
I'll admit, for good reason. I've been not very nice for the 9 years, and then all right for one. So I get it. But yeah, they respond massively to him, and it gives him that second wind. And I've seen that in action now. When our first match, when I hit him with everything I could, and he kicked out, and it was almost like the response of the crowd brought him to a knee, and at that time I didn't really know what to do. But I know exactly what to do now. And I know that with me or against me, it's me and him in the ring. It's me and him there, one-on-one. So, look, I love the Morecambe fans, and I know they're probably going to cheer RPD over me. I'm going to be honest, I know that. But that match is between me and him in that ring, and that's what I need to focus on.
How do you think you'd respond if you started getting the...
You see, I think he's not considered that. So that would be interesting.
Because John Cubes, yeah.
I don't think he's considered that. And this is the thing. I think he's underestimated me. He thinks this is going to be, it's business as usual. It's an RPD match. He took me seriously in the first match, so he's going to take me seriously. But he thinks he's wrestling the same Andre Dekker from over 2 years ago. I think he genuinely thinks that, and it's not the case at all. So I challenge him to, fine, underestimate me. Feel like, feel entitled to the championship. Have all those feelings. Because deep down, whether he admits it or not, if you're thinking like that, you're probably putting the weight down 1 rep before you have to. You're probably training 1 day less than you need to, and I'll allow him to do all that because at the end of the day, I know how it's going to go.
Yeah, but that again, I don't think I've ever seen at Morecambe is it ever be two beloved people fighting each other. I can't think of an example of it that we've ever had.
But the one when Marcus's career was on the line.
RPD Hunter the first time is
RPD was still kind of not at that level
the triple threat, I should.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
I know, and I think that's what sent Ryan over the edge was the fact that they were cheering RPD over him. Yeah. So that's the thing. It's about not getting. For me, it's about not getting overly emotional about that because that sends people off the deep end so many times. So the Morecambe fans, I know the ones that I'll be with me, and I know there will be some in my corner. I fight for them, and you know what? I fight for the ones that boo me as well because a lot of them have been on that journey with me. So it's knowing that and taking that emotion out of that and fighting to do what I want to do with this championship, and that's defend it and defend it well and be a champion, be a deserving champion. In Morecambe, there's been some amazing champions, and that's the thing. I'm not looking at just being the best Odyssey champion. I'm looking at being the best champion in Morecambe wrestling. Doug Williams was a champion in Morecambe.
Mm.
There's been plenty of people who've been on top in Morecambe who have done massive things.
In terms of your first two defenses, you've come in swinging. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what it's about. That's what it's about. It's about making, obviously, furthering myself, but elevating that championship as well and showing everyone, look, this is a prize to be won because look what the champion's doing to keep hold of it.
Yeah, putting yourself through all that. Yeah.
When Alton Thorne challenged you to turn that match into an ODQ, did you hesitate, or were you like, "Let's go"? In your head, obviously, you
I had a 1, 2, 3 here goes when I said what I said. Because I knew what I had to do. There was no choice in the matter.
It's playing to his strengths, though, isn't it?
It is playing to his strengths, but as I said, I'm a fighting champion. He's offered me the most brutal fight he can. He threw the gauntlet down. I have to pick it up. So there was a deep breath, 1, 2, 3. Then I grabbed the mic because I knew exactly what I was gonna say, and I knew exactly the type of night I was gonna have. And yeah, so it's been a rough week physically afterwards, but we got through it.
And while your immediate attention is obviously on RPD, I think it would be negligent not to mention the fact there is a certain somebody with a contract as well.
There is, and
how high is he in your mind, or can you not worry about that because it would distract you from the task at hand?
I think it would be ridiculous not to consider it, but and I haven't heard it. I don't know what his movements are. I believe he's getting married anyway around that time, so I think he might be out of Dodge. But he's, imagine coming in his wedding.
I mean, we had Lance Rivera supposedly in Italy, didn't we? The other last couple of shows back.
Napoli, yeah.
So the Morecambe teleportation machine is in full effect.
I thought if he was going to do it, he was going to do it after Alton Thorne tried to squeeze the life out of me with a chain and then with a kendo stick, and then
that's what I thought.
Then I seen the image of him choking me with the chair. I didn't even remember. I just remember there was areas where I was like, breath was not coming into my lungs for extended period of time, and things were getting hazy, and I don't really see. So there were certain things he was hitting me with I only saw in the photos and go, oh, that was the thing that hurt. Okay, cool. Right. So yeah, after then was probably the best time because it took me a while to stand, let alone say anything to RPD. I think he couldn't even grab the mic. I just slapped it out of his hand, and I wasn't speaking after that because So I don't know what Rick's gonna do. I can't. I have to be aware of it, but I can't control any. I can control the controllable and focus on what's in front of me. RPD has been someone who I've wrestled a handful of times, and our level it's been a long time, but then the times we did wrestle a couple of years ago, not only for Odyssey, but a couple of other promotions, he's come out with the win. So I need to focus on that. I need to focus hard on that. I need to bring the game I know I can bring, and I'm gonna let him underestimate me. So that has to be my focus. Everywhere else is distraction and noise, and anything uncontrollable. I can't concern my mind with right now.
That's fair. Outside of that main event, is there anything else that you're looking forward to on the next show? So it's shaping up to be a good show. Anything else you've got your eyes on?
I want to see what Isaac Gwint is doing. So that's what I'm looking forward to. Isaac Gwint. Leah Raven's attitude is very intriguing as well. But yeah, those are the two things I'm looking forward to. But yeah, particularly Isaac Gwynn. I haven't been able to have a chat with him.
I was gonna say, did you bump into him? Because he did a vlog.
Yeah, he did do a vlog, but I didn't bump into him. I was a bit preoccupied, but he seems to be enjoying his time in the UK. And I didn't know Odyssey had international expenses money. But
I thought this is why we voted Brexit, but
to keep those Aldovians out.
Yeah, keep those Aldovians. There's a great bit in that vlog as well. I think where he's talking to RPD, and RPD just shoots a side look at the camera, and it's
in on his
just
face.
A perfectly beautiful little bit of nonsense.
Yeah.
I'm excited for Isaac Wynn.
We've got him on as well. So
he seems like a much more relaxed guy than his brother.
Yeah, well, he's grown up amongst the cows and the cereal, hasn't he? So
Yeah, yes, yes. It's
but also, yeah, the Leah Raven thing.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, because I thought it was going to be Lana Austin who was going to, teach her a lesson, and she pulled her arm off.
yeah, and it was brutal, and
It was.
and it's Leah Raven again putting her flag in the ground and saying, "Look, this is my division." And to be fair, she's been on top of the division for at the moment. I think she's our longest reigning.
Longest reigning. Yeah.
So out of all the champions, and apparently Greg Lambert, Mr. Historian himself, has said the longest. Don't worry, yeah, there's plenty
Oh,
of reasons.
no. It's fine. It's
But-
just my little feud I'm having with myself.
Yeah, he mentioned longest reigning champion of women's, the longest reigning women's champion.
Oh, I did not know that. I knew she was.
Yeah, the longest reigning women's champion.
Well, then, so someone needs to step up and put a stop to that. Then.
So yeah, so it's very intriguing. Now she's got this new spiky attitude, and
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard being a champion, isn't it?
yeah, it's tough out there, and there's two ways that you can go about it. You can go about it that way.
Oh, he's looking at me and I said he won't like the reference because he don't like him, but there was that before the Royal Rumble when Punk said to Cody around about a year in, it starts to change you. And it
Oh, right. You. Yeah, I the reference went over my head there.
Yeah.
I thought you were just looking. You said not me because I've never been a champion.
No,
I thought, that just hurt.
I knew I was going to mention a relevant reference, but
you could see me at risk. I'm
Yeah.
great.
But no, he was making that point. Everyone's after you. You start to not trust the people that you class friends, and he was like, it starts to corrupt you, and it does start to change you. And I think that's kind of what we're seeing with her.
I think so. I think so. And Lana Austin's a massive thing. I mean, she's massive all over the country. She's been a Morecambe wrestling champion before, and I think that was one of the first titles. I'm not sure if it was she probably won a few others, but she had a good reign in Morecambe before, so it's something that she wants back, and she really wants back. So I could see Lana being a threat to Leah Raven, and Leah Raven's, nip that in the bud as soon as she.
Yeah. My nephew turned to me and said, "So they're not going to have a match then?" I was like, "Her arm's falling off, mate. What's she going to do?" Like, you can't fight with one arm.
Exactly. So yeah, it'll be good to see what opponents she has as well. So. Yeah, it is shaping up to be a really good card, and we've got the Morecambe Bay Championship tournament as well.
Yes.
The fact is, we are having and I don't want to say secondary title, that's not the word for it, but a kind of adjacent title. It's one named after Morecambe. Is pretty cool.
That's a nice thing. Yeah, I'm excited to see the belt actually, because I like a good belt. Yeah.
That shows on it's on the 26th of July, the Alhambra.
Yeah,
you absolutely. Will be main eventing against RPD. And before we finish, have you got any final words for RPD or to the Morecambe faithful ahead of that match?
Yeah, to the Morecambe faithful, thank you for your support throughout the years. This championship run is for me and for you as well. It's been a long journey, and I'm glad that it's you that I've been on it with, and I am on it with, and we're just getting started. So, bring on RPD. And to RPD, again, you may think you want this, but I don't think you understand how much I want this. I don't think you understand how much I need this. So, Ryan, I know as nice as you think it will be to be the champion again, as much as you think you deserve it, I don't think you've got it in you to go to the depths to claw this out of my hand. Literally, you'll have to rip my arm off to take it. Honestly, you will. And that sounds a bit much, but you will. I'm not letting this go. You are not taking my title. You said this belongs to you. No, this belongs to me. And I've waited for so long to be able to say that. For you to just come in and just think, oh, well, I've dealt with fighting my mate now. Go on, visit that. It's major lack as it is. It's a joke. And so, bring your absolute best because you're going to need it and more.
Take him to the deep water.
100%.
Thank you for coming on. It's been a pleasure. Always nice having you. And good luck. Good luck there.
Thank you. Look forward to Well, now we all need a little bit of luck now and again.